You had one job. You ever heard people say that? Maybe you said it yourself. We tend to say that when we're frustrated with somebody's work. We don't say it when we think that the job that they have is really complicated or difficult or even risky. Can you imagine somebody saying that to a brain surgeon? You only had one job. Some jobs are just really hard. We don't say that to people with jobs that are like the most difficult ones. There's even a list, the most difficult jobs in America list. There's 40. Every year they come out with the most difficult jobs. And then they define difficult a bunch of different ways. But the most difficult job lists are almost always topped by air traffic controllers or neurosurgeons, miners, special forces operatives, loggers, pilots. Even the Alaskan crab fishermen make that list. We don't say to them, you had one job. Well, I like to say it all the time, that leadership is hard, but our job is to not make it harder than it needs to be. And leadership isn't everything, but it's the first thing. So if you're a leader or a manager or a supervisor, somebody with a responsibility, title or not, to influence average people to do above average things, well, you get it. You don't have one job. Like I said to you before, you've got two jobs. Create clarity and create alignment. Your job is to create clarity about the mission, about the direction, about the values, about the why behind it all. And it is a perpetual job to create that clarity. People are like popcorn. Some of them pop quickly when it comes to, oh, I get it, I get the clarity. And some wait clear to the end. There might be a few at the very end of that popping of the popcorn that don't get it at all, right? And your job is also to create alignment about the what and the who. What's the strategy and who's going to do the strategy? Alignment so that my work doesn't inadvertently run into somebody else's work and make their work harder. Clarity, alignment. It's perpetual. It's kind of like the right foot and the left foot as you're walking on this leadership journey over and over and over and over again. You've got two jobs. How hard can it be? That doesn't sound right, okay? So in creating clarity and creating alignment, which you find yourself doing every day, sometimes multiple times a day, you and I as leaders play three roles. We need to be pretty good at all three of these roles. So as I list them, ask yourself, which one of these am I good at? Which one of these have I done today? We are a window, a compass, and a mirror. Each of those three roles has its own value in creating clarity and alignment. They're of equal importance and of equal impact. First, the window. Windows, think of a window itself. It helps us frame what we're looking at. Windows give us deliberate perspective. We put a window there so that we can see what's on the other side of that window, what's outside that window from a particular perspective. Windows are never the issue. It's what they enlighten that's the issue. It's what they get us to look at that's the issue. So you're a window. Windows also let light in. So as a leader, you create better visibility to the stuff that really matters. You help us see things better. Windows are also stabilizing. They refresh our atmosphere. You can open a window and let fresh air in, right? And windows insulate us from those small annoyances of life. So they protect us from some of that stuff as well. That's what windows are for. Compass, the second role you play, a compass. Compasses help us orient ourselves in the world. Compasses point at magnetic north, and they help us know which way we're going. They help us navigate, especially in complex situations. Compasses help us take the high view and the long view. We may be in a valley, we may be in the dark, and if we can see the compass, we know that no matter what it looks like or feels like around us, I know what direction that is. They help us navigate and they help us take the long view. Also, the third one is the mirror. Mirrors reflect back what's in front of them, objectively, consistently, in a non-judgmental way, just like that mirror in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And that mirror said to the queen, "Oh, queen, you're the fairest of them all," until she wasn't. Then the mirror said, not so much anymore. There's someone else in the land who's more fair than you are. When Snow White emerged, the mirror just reflected back that The queen was no longer the fairest. Fact. You don't play the role like a circus mirror, a mirror that shapes and twists things and you don't get a good view of it. Or maybe you don't play the role of like a cheap IKEA mirror that distorts what it reflects. As a mirror, you reflect back people's objective behavior. You reflect back the impact objectively of their behavior. Mirrors only reflect what's on the outside too. Mirrors don't go internal, they can't. So you just reflect back to people what you see and what you hear and what are the objective interactions with people. So are you good at being a window? Do you refresh regularly the people you lead? Do you help enlighten them? Do you shine light on things that need to be seen? Do you help them see what's kind of in the dark right now? Do you help them frame the best perspective on issues? Do you stabilize the atmosphere around them as much as possible and try to protect them from some of the annoying gnats of distracting life? Are you good at being a compass? Do you constantly remind us of where we're going? Constantly. Do you put everything in a larger and higher context? Do you help us get above the bumps in the road that are right in front of us right now? Do you keep swinging back to magnetic north even when distractions arise? And are you good at being a mirror? Being a mirror is the hardest of these three roles to play. Are you good at not letting your own emotional distortion morph what you reflect back to other people? The hard thing about the hard thing, title of a book that I really recommend to you, in it he says, one of the main things he says is the hard thing about being a leader, or the hard thing about the hard thing, is overcoming our own psychology, knowing and managing our own deficits and our own emotions and not reflecting those back on other people. Sometimes the person wants to blame the mirror, by the way, and smash the mirror or just ignore it. When you reflect a person's behavior back to them and the impact of that behavior, they may get mad at you, the mirror. So it's kind of hard to play that role. Mirrors reflect objectively. They reflect the good and the not so good. So how you doing at that? How you doing in those roles? And also, do you have windows for yourself? Do you have people who act as a window for you? Do you have people in your life who act as a compass for you? Do you have mirrors? You don't need a lot of mirrors. It's not like you need a disco ball following you around everywhere. But do you have mirrors that reflect you and your impact, your behavior and your impact back to you? Probably need all three of those roles in your life. If you don't have them, probably a good time to go out and start building those relationships. So there you go. Which one of these are you the best at? Which one are you not so good at? Probably need to be fairly good at all three. You got 2 jobs and 3 roles. How hard is it? Nobody's ever going to say that to you, right? Well, leadership is hard, but don't make it harder than it needs to be by making it way too complex. But also, you can't oversimplify it at the same time. Hey, here's to you. Keep up the good work. We need you to succeed. Take care.